Welcome, comic book fans, artists, and writers alike, to the second episode of the Panel Pod. Today, we pick the brain of one of comics' up and comers, Raymar Brunson, who has been making waves in the world of independent comics with his titles like Ghostman, as well as its sequel, Flesh and Blood, and his recent collaboration with IDW for a cover of Godzilla and TMNT. We talk about his artistic process, influences on his work, some of his collaborations, controversies, and a peek into the future of Brunson's ever-growing success. Make sure you stick around till the end, support Raymar through his website and Instagram, which will be linked in the description.
All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the second episode of the Panel Pod. I'm really excited. We got another very special guest. We got Raymar Brunson here. He has been absolutely killing it right now. And Raymar, we're just going to get right into it. I just want to ask you, what got you into this industry? What got you into this medium? Tell me about just how you've got into it and your process.
Man, I don't even know if I'm in the industry yet. But no, I mean I grew up with a lot of like watching cartoons, watching movies, stuff based on comics. And my brother was a comic fan. He used to collect a lot of comics. I remember specifically he had I think it was the first issue of Silver Sable in the Wild Pack. It was like an embossed cover. And I used to flip through that a lot. Um, a lot of comics I had came from collecting Marvel Legends as a kid,
Hmm.
back when they were with Toy Biz still, and they would come with comics. So yeah, kind of started there. And then my brother used to draw. I got that from him. So kind of been doing that my whole life. And then um I'm just now into year three of starting to do comics. So 3 years ago, yeah, I decided to like kind of make that leap. Everything just kind of came together. It finally made sense. Like, oh yeah, I should just do comics. Like, and so here we are.
And stylistically, you brought up cartoons. When I look at your work, it reminds me of Hanna-Barbera or kind of like Tartakovsky with Samurai Jack. What are some of the cartoons you grew up with, or some cartoons that have influenced your style?
Yeah, so I mean like, Batman, like everybody, uh all the work of Bruce Timm.
Hmm.
Um Basically any show, any cartoon from the late 90s and or mid to late 90s and 2000s that was based on the superhero, all that kind of comes into my style for sure. But definitely the Bruce Timm stuff. I've kind of gotten back to that a lot recently because I kind of went back and I was like, okay, before I found all these artists, how did I used to draw? And I was like, oh, I was very clean, and it was very inspired by like Bruce Timm. He was like one of my favorites as a kid, him and John Romita Jr.
Hmm.
So kind of went back and kind of been looking at his stuff a lot more. So definitely Batman for sure. Like everything in that universe.
The animated series and like Unlimited,
Yep.
those type of shows. That's amazing, and you can definitely see that in there. So you mentioned that when you looked back on your older work, you said it looked a lot cleaner, and it was based on Bruce Timm. So would you say that in between point would be like with biomechanical engineer, biomechanical protector? I don't know why I said engineer.
You could.
Because it's very manga influenced,
Yeah.
comparatively speaking. So is that where you kind of were had like an in-between point?
Yeah, definitely. I can't remember. Uh, who was I looking at when I did Bone Grinder? Um,
It definitely reminds me of like Akira. So some of not Akira Toriyama, but
yeah,
Akira the actual manga by Otomo. I would definitely see some of that in here.
yeah. I know the artist Frank Turan. He's a
Mm.
favorite of mine. He did some Punisher comics and a bunch of other stuff back in the day. I was looking at him a lot. He has like this gritty style, and I was kind of trying my best to pull that off. Bone Grinder's a funny thing. I was influenced by a lot of stuff at that time, and I was just kind of going for it. That was like my second
Yeah.
book ever, and it was like, it's a lot of pages for like a second book. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's excellent. And specifically with Bone Grinder, I noticed, you also worked on Ghostman, which we'll get into as well. Was it intentional? And maybe it's just something I noticed as a fan. But Ghostman is impenetrable. Anything can phase through him. And then Bone Grinder is like a tank where like nothing can hit him. Was that like intentional? I don't know. I just found that really cool.
um, maybe not with because Bone Grind is still unfinished. That's the second volume coming,
Uh-huh.
so he's a bit more uh vulnerable than Ghost Man. But I never really thought about it like that. But I mean,
Yeah,
I am.
bullets are bouncing off of him, and
Yeah.
then Ghost Man, they're phasing, phasing through him. So I thought that was kind of a cool like duality of the characters.
Yeah. What's funny though is that I'm working on this new thing. Um, it's like very early, very early. And I wanted to work on a character that had like some more stakes, like a more like human character. So that does come from that. I'm like, oh, I need to like dial it back a little bit. Let's do something like let's have a character that can get hurt, you know?
Yeah,
So
definitely. And that's cool that you have layers to your characters. I mean, they're definitely dimensional. And we're talking about Ghostman. How did that come about? Where did that idea start? Was that your first comic book that you created?
um kinda. Well, yeah, like officially like in the book done. Yeah. I mean, the idea for Ghost Man was like middle school. So
Hmm.
um everybody who knows me, they know I'm a big Punisher fan. So the Ghost Man was just kind of a way for me to just do the Punisher with like a spin. Um, yeah, I first drew him in like middle school, just like a joke thing, and it kind of stuck with me. Kind of had no real intentions of like doing anything with it in middle school because I had like filmmaking was my thing for a very long time. So once I decided to do comics, I tried to do this other book first, didn't really work out. And I was like, man, let me just do something fun. And I was like, oh, you know what? I could just do something with that Ghost Man character. I'll do something real short and fun. And yeah, pretty much just came from that, just like frustration with this other thing not working out. It's like, oh, it's time to cut loose and, you know.
Oh, totally. And would you say that from your experience with cinematography or working with film, do you feel that that's translated over into some of your comic book work?
I think so. Like people tell me it has, but I don't know if I really, I guess sometimes I think about it, but not all the time.
Hmm.
You know, I'm just, you know,
Your
I mean,
approach is different.
yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I look at my work and I just see like the problems. So like, I don't really, you know,
Like we all do, yes.
yeah. So
Well, it looks like it could be an animated film. It could be adapted easily. I mean, some of these pages are absolutely insane. There's a panel here I was just looking at a second ago, and I'm like, that just gives off. I could see that in a film. Would you say? And when I read this, it gives off Western vibes. It's like a dark noir
mhm.
Western, but also a tad bit superhero. With Ghost Man. Would you say anything else influenced Ghostman as you continue to work like on Flesh and Bullets?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big noir guy. I love noir films, westerns too. I don't watch as many westerns as I used to. I should probably get back into that. But yeah, I think around Flesh and Bullets, the second book. Who was I looking at? Obviously Frank Miller is a big inspiration. So I was looking at a lot of Sin City and kind of everything he's done for sure. But yeah, that gritty noir like crime aesthetic, like I really love that stuff. So yeah, that definitely went into the second book.
Absolutely, that's really awesome. And when it comes to your ultra violent takes, is there a technique that you specifically use? Because I noticed that you're using brushes in some of these pages, especially with the splatter. And the way that man, it's just beautiful the way that you do it. But yeah, tell me a
Thanks.
little bit about your techniques.
With the splatter, I mean, I got this toothbrush right here. Hold on. I got my, it's like, this is my white one. I got a one for black splatter somewhere. But yeah, I just use the toothbrush for that. Sometimes I'll get a brush and I'll just flick it on the page. But I usually, I do digital pencils, blue line, and then I'll print them out and go over them. I usually use a zebra brush pen, microns, stuff like that, a lot of fine liners. And then like just kind of whatever. I got a bunch of tools that like sit around. I just don't use them, but at least I don't use them like often, but I'll just pick them up and like, oh, maybe this will get what I need and you know.
Yeah, very cool. And when it comes to, setting the stage for some of these pages, I noticed, there is some digital coloring. Was it intentional to make the backgrounds kind of look like blood or like pools of blood?
Yeah, there's this this overlay. It's like an ink wash overlay that
Uh,
the artist Armand Bodner he put out, if you know who that is, the frog. He made Tales of the Frog Knight. Um,
okay.
so that's that overlay over the red, and I'm glad it worked out because yeah, I wanted to try something different with that second book, and I was like, man, I hope this works in print because if not, then it's gonna really like just come out super
Mm,
muddy. But
yeah.
the thing I loved the most with that issue was the flashback pages where the line work is read.
Mm.
Um,
Let's see if I can put that in here.
it's kind of like the Father Flesh like origin stuff.
Oh man, yeah. This also, I would say the paper that it's printed on,
Hmm.
that has to be intentional as well.
Yeah, newsprint. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's wonderful. I want to talk about your writing too.
oh boy.
Who are some writers that have influenced you? It seems that you're well seasoned. Did you go to school for? Are you interested in English? Because your dialogue, I mean, it's sound. I mean,
Is
I can hear good
it?
characters.
No, I mean, I don't know. Writers that influence me, I mean, I don't know. Probably just based on like it probably just comes from the movies I watched growing up. So like, Tarantino and
Hmm.
all other kinds of crime films. Like I said, I'm a big Punisher fan, so the Garth Ennis stuff, that's a big influence for sure. Um, but most of the stuff for me, just kind of my books in general. At least my own stuff. It's like, oh, this is funny, so I'll do this because I
Hmm.
think it's funny. So
Yeah.
like, there's some funny stuff in that second book. At least to me, it's funny.
Oh, the
But
dialogue is great. I mean, yeah, these guys kind of remind me of in the Arkham games, I'm like, oh, they sound like
yeah,
like the guys that are just like walking around Arkham. Also, I want to see for Ghostman, are there any future plans for Ghostman?
yeah. I'm working on the third issue. I show some pages, but I just moved and all my stuff is in a box across the room. But yeah, the third one is I'm like almost done working on it, so that's coming pretty soon. That
Yeah,
was gonna be fun.
that's incredible. And working with Cosmic Lion Productions, how did that come about? I mean, it seems like they've got just an immense amount of artists that they're working with and writers as well. Tell me about that experience because some of these other covers or pinups that were done. Well, there's one by Rojo Kova here.
Hmm.
Just are incredible. So that connection there at Cosmic Lion, I'm sure, has been a huge help for you. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, so that I always forget the exact order of stuff, but the very okay, so my friend and fellow artist Kevin Anthony Catalan, he has a book with them called Space Nights. And I first came across that early 2023. And there's also the Facebook Cartoonist Kayfabe like fan group. It's called CKRS. And I had seen like Cosmic Line stuff posted in there. Um and then I used to post my art in there a lot, just kind of here and there, get a lot of reactions and feedback and stuff, and that was pretty cool. But Rocco Jerome, who's the creator of Ghost Agents, um, at Cosmic Lion, he saw a big Barda drawing I did, and he reached out to me. He was like, "Oh, I gotta get a pinup from you for Ghost Agents." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." And that was the very first like published piece of art I had ever done. Um, so that kind of like they kind of became aware of me because of that. And then, like I said, I was a big fan of Space Knights, and I was like, well, if I talk to a publisher, it would be Cosmic Lion about getting Ghostman out there. And eventually, I did reach out to Eli, who started the company, and I just sent him like the submission letter. I just typed it up like just right then and there, just randomly one day, and I don't know, I didn't even save it. I just typed it up and sent it, so it could have been like all kinds of yeah,
Just
hopefully.
misspellings. It was just out of a passionate email, so there's a couple of grammar mistakes
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
might have been. But I don't know. But he got back to me the next day and he was like, "Yeah, you've done stuff with us and it makes sense. You're kind of family already." So yeah, so he brought me on. I had Ghostman done. He kind of helped me work on the inside cover, inside back cover stuff I didn't think about for some reason. And we just kind of went from there. And it's been really fun. He's like super supportive and I can kind of reach out to him anytime. And we've done a few books together now, outside of Ghostman. So it's been really cool.
And I want to talk about is it Detective Pickle? You worked on that story. That is a funny story. Tell me about working with that writer. And while you're telling me about that, tell me about the differences between, okay, you're writing Ghostman, you're writing Biomechanical Bone Grinder, but for Detective Pickle, you're just doing the art. Do you find it easier? Do you like having, I guess, do you feel like you have more control over the story when you're working with the writer? Tell me about that.
Um, It's been pretty easy. I mean, because every writer I've worked with so far has been a friend, for the most part, except for this most recent writer. But it's still been cool. Like I've been real lucky with that. Um, I think most people, everybody that I work with, they kind of know what I'm about and how I go about doing stuff. So I think they're pretty open with letting me do whatever. But with Detective Pickle, so that was with my friend Neil Ewing. He makes toys and he's like done his own comics in the past, like super funny guy. And man, they just started off as a joke. I can't even remember how we got there. But some weeks later, I was like, "Hey, man, if you want to write this, like, um, I'll draw it. I'll take it 100% seriously." So he came up with a 10-page script, got it back to me in like 2 weeks, something like that. And yeah, I was like, "Okay, like I said, take this seriously. I'm gonna go for this like noir tone. I'm gonna really, just like play around with this and have fun."
Oh yeah,
And
and you nailed it. Yeah.
thanks, bro.
And that reminds me, because earlier I brought up your style kind of falling in line with Hanna-Barbera. I saw a post that you made on your story, and I literally was like, "That's such a great idea, Tomcat." I would die to see that. That would be really, really incredible. Did you grow up with Hanna-Barbera cartoons? Is that
Yeah.
is that why you?
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Top Cat specifically. I don't know. It's just kind of a funny thing. Like it's just something I've always. I'm not even like the biggest Top Cat fan in the world, but for something about it, it's just like people don't talk about it that much, and it's just something I loved a little bit, So, but I don't know. I put that on my story, but I have no idea what I would do with a Top Cat comic, bro. Like
That's hilarious. Well, going off the cuff, sometimes you come up with some pretty creative things.
that's true.
And your side story within the first issue of Ghostman, that
Oh, the
one's
shell.
more in the fantasy realm. Uh,
Hmm.
is that a story that you'd be interested in continuing, or a world, I guess, you'd be interested in unraveling more?
Yeah, it's something I'm gonna get back to. I don't know, man. I was just kind of doing like it was my first book. I don't know what I was doing, but I kind
The
of did
show,
that.
that's what it's called, the show.
Yeah, I like some time had passed once I got the Ghost Man story done, and I felt like my art had leveled up just a little bit. And I was like, man, I want to show people kind of like where I'm at right now. So I was like, let me just do a bonus thing and just throw it in there. Um, Kind of a weird decision, like in retrospect, but
Oh, I mean,
yeah,
it would be like your version of a fill-in, the way Marvel has their backstories as well.
yeah,
But I just got to say, especially towards the back end, in the moments that don't have dialogue, I mean, your visual storytelling, you just have such a natural ability for that. I mean, you can really feel all of these panels. It just feels really, really strong, and impactful. There's so much weight. I mean, do you know that you're this good?
no,
And that could be a trick question. And that could be an extremely trick question. But just the visual language here is just out of this world, and you're super creative, man. I just want to give you your praise there for
th
that.
thanks, man. I mean, a lot of time has passed on that. I haven't really looked at like the first issue of Ghost Man in so long. Like a lot has changed, but I'm glad it's like people can look at it and see that there's good in it. I don't know, man. Like I just got real lucky that I had the time to like work on stuff and get it out there. And I got so much time now to just sit down. Like I draw all day, every day.
Mm,
So I'm just trying to get better. And luckily I have, but I want to you know, keep progressing.
absolutely. And I also want to talk about your IDW cover. You got to work with IDW, Godzilla, Ninja Turtles. I mean, these characters are iconic for one. Tell me about that process and how you are able to have an opportunity to draw these characters.
Yeah, so going back, this goes back to I think 2024. Shout out to Ryan Balcom. He's the one that hooked that up for me. He works at IDW. I forgot what his exact title is over there, so my bad, Ryan. But I did like some random TMNT uh drawing, just some fan art, and he liked it and he grabbed it and he said that he would try to give me some cover work back then. I was not ready, so I'm glad it didn't happen like immediately. I would have fumbled that. But he basically a year later kept his word and yeah, he got me the Godzilla TMNT cover and it was just like a crazy email for me, and I was like, oh, like, damn, I'm not ready. So I'm like, all right, I gotta like really lock in on this. So I looked at um pretty much everybody that inspires me currently, and just thought like, okay, what would they do? So that means I looked at the work of James Herron, DWJ, Justin Mason. He's a big one for me. Um, who else? Art Adams, his Godzilla stuff. My friend Kevin Catalan, he did a Godzilla issue, Godzilla Rivals. That was great. Um, and I was like, okay, let me just get the best and just put it all together and try to make something that works. And um, there was a few different variations. Like I submitted like a few different thumbnails, and one of them was it was Mikey and Godzilla like skating together. And but we couldn't do that. So we, uh so went from that uh to putting taking him off the board, obviously, and then putting all four of the turtles in. And they were all doing different things, but then we decided to have them all skating together. And yeah, it's just I'm surprised that like I don't know, man, how easy it actually was to like work on. Like once it got down to it, once I got the thumbnail submitted and approved, and I just kind of locked in and got it inked, penciled and inked in like a day. And coloring was the hard part though, because I'm not the best like at colors, man. I was stressing over the colors. I had to send it to like a few different people to like
I was going to
help me
ask
figure
because
that
the
out.
coloring is very well done. Who are some of the colorists you've worked with?
Um, well, I mean, well, the people I just hit up my friends like, hey, how does this look? How does this look? So I
Okay.
haven't really well, I'm currently working with the colorist on the project, uh but yeah, I like thought about, okay, what would Mike Spicer do? What would Dave Stewart do? And, you know, definitely didn't touch either one of them with my coloring, but um yeah, I got a lot of help with that. So, but that was the hardest part of working on that cover. But it was a fun thing though, for sure.
No, that's excellent. Ninja Turtles, would you ever be interested in doing a Ninja Turtles title? Do those characters mean anything to you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely grew up on Turtle stuff. I would love to do that, man. I just like it's something honestly, ever since I did that cover, it's something I've thought about a lot, but I need to get better. I gotta get better.
I just want to know also this viral picture of yours, this viral art piece
Mm,
of yours, with Doctor Doom foot stomping an ice agent. It went completely off the charts. It
yeah.
was everybody's feed. People I knew saw it outside of the comic world. It was all over my TikTok feed. Tell us about this. I want to know from start to finish. Tell us the story.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, DWJ, he did his absolute Batman ice piece, and I thought that was just like as I don't know, that was just like the bravest thing for him to do, from my perspective at least. Like, especially at the time and what was coming and what was going on. I was like, damn, that's fucking insane. But and that really stuck with me. And I thought about doing something on my own, but that was like the business side of my brain. Like, no, I shouldn't do that. I don't want to like
Mm.
divide like my audience or anything. But I don't know. So I sat on the idea, not even like Doom specifically, but just doing anything for a while, like months. And then I don't know, man, like one day I was just like, whatever, like I don't care. It is what it is. And then I came up with the Doctor Doom thing because I knew it would get people talking because people uh like to like to debate stuff. And um yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh yeah, he'll do the move from Marvel versus Capcom because that's kind of funny. Like I don't want to make it super serious. I don't want him like killing anybody or anything like that. Um but yeah, I posted it and then it did all right. And then unfortunately Alex Preddy died like the next day after I posted it. So it kind of went up like even more. And as it was going up, it was kind of cool, but I didn't really do it for the numbers. It was just like I was just frustrated. And I was like, let me kind of do something to speak on it and kind of have some fun with it at the same time, and kind of say like, and maybe it doesn't really work this way, but I was like, oh, like things are getting so ridiculous. Let me just draw something like ridiculous. Like this is how stupid shit is getting. So, um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, it blew up and, you know, uh, there was a lot of support, but surprisingly not an equal amount of hate, but it was definitely a lot of hate. And I mean, you saw. Um, racist comments and no death threats or nothing like that, but I got some DMs, some crazy DMs. Not even that crazy. That was one, and literally said it like this. They said, this guy said, "Ice is awesome, and you are the R word." That's how he said it, and I'm like, you might as well just say it, bro. If you're gonna
Yeah,
DM me.
you are the R word.
But yeah, I don't know, but yeah, kind of it got a little strange. There was a lot of like expectations and um. Just a lot of negativity on one side and a lot of like expectations on the other side. So I took a bit of a break. And then I eventually I wanted to do like a print run, something like that, but I was like, nah, I'll just put it out for free and just kind of like give it to the people, because
Mhm.
it's not about me. So um but it kind of blew up like crazy. It said like 500,000 likes and I went up like 11, not like 12,000 followers or something like that. Like it was mind blowing. I'm like, these aren't even real numbers. So I don't know. It's cool, but there's like a bit of maybe not guilt, but I don't know, just like a weird feeling about it, because I didn't really do it for all of that. So
Well, I'd say as someone that's, been paying attention to comics very closely, when it comes to storytelling and it comes to artists and writers, for years they've been put in positions where they're not able to write or draw or put out the things that they feel near and true to them, especially when they're working for bigger companies.
hmm
And I think that nowadays, comics has come to a point where there are so many voices and there are so many things to be said, and the climate of where we are just as a country and as a culture, it demands for this type of braveness, as you called it. And you're absolutely right. Daniel Warren Johnson definitely stepped up to the plate. And I like that you have this double-edged sword of, oh, like, I feel kind of weird about it, but also I just want to encourage you and say like that is very brave of you to do, and that inspired way more people than I think you realize. Because it is important that we speak up for what's right. Without speaking up for what's right, and this is on a smaller scale, we wouldn't have things like Image Comics or Milestone Comics. And through that, some amazing stories were able to be told. So I
Yeah.
commend you so much for doing that, and I give
Thanks,
you
bro.
absolute props. And I love Marvel versus Capcom, and I understood it immediately. Foot dive, like it was right away. And I just you got so much of your personality in your artwork. It's incredible, man.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Tell us about any future projects that you have coming up.
Yeah, so I'm working. I've been posting about it here and there, but me and my homie Kevin Anthony Cattle, and we're working on a project he's writing. I'm drawing, and we plan on keeping it going. Kind of like whenever one of us has like the free time. So we're gonna switch duties. So second issue, I'm gonna write, he's gonna draw. And yeah, we'll just keep it going from there. I'm currently working with Mike Wayans on a book called Damu. He's writing, I'm drawing.
No way.
Uh, yeah, it's like a horror vampire book. It's really cool. Um, and what else am I doing? Uh,
That's incredible. How'd you make that connection with Mr. Wayans?
with Eli at Cosmic Lion. Yeah, I don't know the exact story, but I know Mike just saw my work and he wanted to do it with me specifically. So that was really cool. And he's a super cool guy. He's kind of given me a lot of freedom to um really just like, interpret his characters and just bring this story to life. It's really crazy. I try not to like I don't know. I don't want to downplay it, but I'm just like, it's work, so I'm gonna just do the work. I'm gonna try to not like let it get to my head about who he is and whatnot. But he's super chill. Um, what else am I doing? Ghostman 3. Uh, I'm doing like a million things, bro. I've had a lot of cover work recently, indie. Um, there's a new, I can't really say. There's a new big cover on the way. What else? Uh,
You're sitting in front of your drawing board. Do you have something you could show us?
um, yeah, I guess me and Kevin's thing. I got this page I'm working on. Wait, what I just, yeah, here we go. Yeah, yeah. So me and Kevin's
Oh,
thing is just panel of him shooting the gun, and then there's a tank, and yeah. So
that's
everything
incredible.
else I got like put away right now because, like I said, I just moved, so all my stuff is like in boxes still.
Those speed lines looked really well done. Do you have any manga influences or any artists in manga or just
Um,
specific manga that influence you?
Definitely Atomo. Definitely why can't I think of his name? Shiro, Masamune
Oh,
Shiro.
okay. Yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely. I got a bunch of other manga that I haven't really like done a deep dive. I know I got some Initial D recently at a con. Um, but yeah, Shiro for sure. I definitely look at his stuff a lot. Um, just by being put onto him by DWJ for sure.
Are there any current comic runs that you're reading right now? Or are you simply just too busy to read comics nowadays?
No, I'm not too busy. I mean, I'm busy, but I make time. Uh, Transformers for sure.
Hmm.
Battle Beast. I need to get caught up on G.I. Joe, but love that. Love what Tom Riley is doing to G.I. Joe. Um, Absolute Batman, of course, like everybody. What else am I reading? Minor Threats. Scott Hepburn, one of my favorite artists. Um, like Minor Threats is so good. Like just every issue, every spinoff has been like perfect, man.
Um, you know, Here on the podcast, we talk about comics, but I'm always interested to know some of the artist's favorite films, some of their favorite musical artists. So we'll start with some of your favorite films, and I do want to get into some of the music that you listen to because I always find it interesting what artists are listening to when they draw. Are they watching a movie? Are they listening to silence? What's that like for you, and what do you like?
For movies, my this is gonna be funny because I got a little story. But my favorite movie is probably The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the David Fincher version,
Mm.
which is funny because another artist I'm a huge fan of, Chloe Brailsford. If you know her, we've talked about it, and she does not like that movie.
It is a crazy
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, it's not for everybody.
No, it's
I
definitely
actually
not.
have I have a poster signed by David Fincher that
Oh,
somebody
wow.
got me for my birthday some years ago. Um, but that uh what else? It's not because the names are similar, but the movie Bronson, Nicholas Winding Refn, that's a great movie. Uh Return of the Living Dead, that's one of my favorites. The Master, Paul Thomas Anderson, one of my favorite directors. Good Time, the Safdie brothers.
Got a very refined Criterion-esque taste.
Yeah, I mean, I got a letterbox. This it's same as my Instagram, Arter Brunson. I got like a top 10 list on there. I can't remember everything that's in it though. Um, but yeah, like any Michael Mann film. I love Michael Mann. Uh, like I said, I used to be filmmaking was my thing. So, I just like fell in love with cinema when I was in my teens, and yeah, it was a big thing for a long time. So I watched a lot of like obscure movies and just all kinds of crazy stuff that people never heard of.
When it comes to while you're drawing or you're on the board, are you listening to music?
Um, Music, mostly podcasts. I usually seek out like interviews and stuff first. Um, but music, man, what am I listening to? I've got into a lot of Japanese punk bands recently.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, just kind of randomly. Well, not even randomly. Actually, it's because of there's this film directed by I think he's changed his name a lot over the years, but I know his last name is Ishii. But he directed this movie called Electric Dragon 80,000 Volts. And it's a crazy movie. You should watch it.
I'll have to check that out. Is it
Um,
like House or something like that? I've heard of this movie called House that's like an old Japanese film and it's like
um,
super like psychedelic and like crazy.
a little bit, but it's kind of like an action type thing.
Oh, okay.
But there's a lot of punk rock in that, so I kind of just, sometimes you can just get on Spotify and look up like this movie and with that kind of vibe. So I found this playlist that's based on that movie. I don't think any of that music is in the movie, but that helped me find a bunch of Japanese punk bands. So I've just kind of been going on a deep dive with that. Um, Outside of that, like a lot of movie scores, video game scores, um, a lot of rap, so a lot of Space Ghost part for sure.
Okay.
So
Okay.
um yeah, a lot of other like unknown underground people, but my favorite rapper is definitely MF Doom. Like absolutely. So But
Incredible.
right, what's crazy is that right under him is Lil B. I'm a big Lil B
I
fan.
love Lil B, the bass
Yeah.
god. Yes, I love the bass god. Um, Moving on. This will be like our last question here. I know that you mentioned earlier that you love the Punisher. I, for one, as I mentioned, the Hanna-Barbera influences would love to see you work on someone like Space Ghost. Space Ghost came back around as a comic book title. That would be really cool to see you work on. Is there any other characters or titles that you would like to draw on?
Oh man. Yeah, Punisher. Space Ghost would be cool. But I don't know, man. Like those Michael Cho covers, like I'm not gonna top that. So that's intimidating. So
I just think that Alex Toth, that kind of those techniques, and whether or not you're using them, a lot of Tothisms are in your work. So I think that would just be a cool translation. I know it's looking really awesome and detailed right now, but that simplistic approach has been a favorite of mine, and I know
yeah.
for yours as well, because there's so much you could do.
Yeah, Batman, Wolverine, all the edgy characters, give them to me. I would love to do like I really like the character Tombstone. I've drawn him twice recently. I would love to do something with Tombstone, man. Like, I don't know, if by some chance, like the heavens, like the planets align, I get to do like just like a Tombstone like prequel comic or
Mhm.
something, like some origin thing. That'd be crazy. I'd love to do that. Um,
Yeah, the way they
uh,
explored his character, and I don't know if you watched the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I
mhm,
love the way they explored his character. Going from being someone very well, he was professional as just a character in general, but the path that he was led down forced him to take his career in a different path,
mhm.
something that's more in crime. So that would be a really awesome character for you to explore.
You know what, another one that always like throws people off. I always say I'd love to do something with Squirrel Girl, just because like it'd be
That did throw me off a bit.
no, it would just be funny to do. I don't know, it'd just be something cool. I could see like I don't know, I did a Squirrel Girl drawing like maybe like a year and a half ago. And it didn't really blow up, but it surprised a lot of people. And it's just a character with a lot of energy that just be fun to like tackle. But yeah, TMNT. Godzilla again, but Punisher, man, that's like once I do something with the Punisher, if it's like a cover or whatever, then I can just, once it's done and out there, I could die happy. I just do Punisher. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I love that character, and it's not even because not even because of the guns or the violence and nothing like that. It's just very interesting that I'm find it so interesting. He's a character that just like devoted to something that won't make any difference at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So
And he doesn't care about it either. He's just like,
yeah.
no, this is my destiny.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing with Batman, kind of. So, but yeah, I love the Punisher. So,
So, Raymar, are you making any appearances at cons? Where can we find your work? Tell us about you have a website. How can we purchase your work? How can we find Ghostman?
most of my work that's written and drawn by me is with Cosmic Lion Productions right now. At Art of Brunson on everything. I actually have art rep now, Panel Punk Originals. Um, they have I take my commissions through them. I have commissions open right now. I have a lot of art for sale. My Godzilla TMNT cover is up there for sale right now. So check that out. Um, what else I got going? Yeah, I'll be at Heroes Con this summer. So
Incredible. And I
yeah,
hope to see you there as well too.
try to do isn't Motor City twice a year? Isn't that a thing? Yeah, either way, I'm gonna try to get to Motor City at some point. And I might be walking around to C2E2. We'll see. So, but Heroes, I'll definitely be tabling for sure.
Incredible, man. Well, Raymar, I just want to just congratulate you on all your success. I'm so excited for the future of your work. Man, just keep at it. You're inspiring a lot of us artists and writers. So thank you so much for joining us on the second episode of the Panel Pod. We'll see you next time, guys. And check out Raymar on his Instagram. I'm going to leave a link for everything in the description so you can find a place to support him. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you.